If you watched any of the recent ALGS Global Championship, you probably noticed that a lot of teams were running the Dirty 30 as their secondary. You might have even seen some nasty hipfire clips from the likes of people like Verhulst or ImperialHal, and I'm willing to bet you've noticed this gun quite a bit in your ranked games recently too. Since its release in Season 8, the 30-30 repeater has slowly gone from a fairly niche and relatively unpopular gun to one of the most widely used weapons in the game. It's a classic example of power creep, where as a game develops and other aspects are buffed, nerfed, added, removed, whatever, one element slowly becomes meta without ever being touched. The 30-30 hasn't been buffed or changed in a long time, so why is it suddenly such a must-have in pro lobbies and ranked alike? Sup y'all, my name is Wheaties, and I love analyzing Apex Legends, and today I want to talk about what makes the 30-30 so powerful and how you can use that knowledge to anticipate the future meta and get a head start on the competition. So without further ado, let's get into it. First, let's talk about the specific niche that the 30-30 is trying to fulfill. It's a Marksman weapon, which means it excels at mid-range and still works pretty well at long and close range. It takes heavy ammo and is competing in this class with the G7 Scout and the Triple Take, which take light and energy ammo respectively. It's also in the same class as the Bocek, but since the Bocek is a care package weapon right now and is obviously superior to all three of these guns, we'll just leave it out of the conversation. Now, the 30-30, Triple Take, and G7 all have the same range with different ammo types. Some players will prefer to take a gun that matches the ammo type of other meta guns, just in case they need to switch later in the game. So for example, if it's late game and I want a good SMG for the last fight, I can switch my Triple Take out for a Volt, or my 30-30 for a car, or my G7 for an R9. If you're running a 30-30 and want to switch it out, you can grab a car, a Hemlock, a Flatline, all of which are some of the most popular guns right now. This is kind of true for all three weapons though, so none of them really have an advantage here. Range and ammo type are important, but at the end of the day, these guns need to deal damage. So which weapon is best for this? When we start looking at DPS, or damage per second, we see something interesting. The G7, despite being the less popular option right now, does 128 DPS, which is 31 more than the 30-30, which sits at 97. The Triple Take does the least damage of the three at 85 DPS, so it's not a huge surprise that it's the least popular of the three. But why is the 30-30 more popular than its stronger DPS rival, the G7? The G7 also does more damage per clip with the ability to kill 2 white shield players in one clip without a mag, while the 30-30 can only kill 1. Many players don't think about how much damage a weapon can do per clip, but to sum it up, the more damage you can do per clip, the more likely you are to knock someone before you have to reload. This makes one gun obviously better off drop when attachments are scarce, but the G7 retains this advantage as you upgrade it. So the G7 obviously does more damage, does that damage faster, and is more useful off drop. So why is the repeater the dominant choice right now? It all boils down to one thing: economy. Sure, the G7 does more damage, but you're probably going to want to keep 3 full stacks of light ammo to keep it going for a long time. Whereas with the 30-30, you can just keep 2 stacks and you're set for basically the whole game. That may only be the difference of 1 slot in your backpack to you, but that's 2 more bats, 2 more medkits, 1 more ult excel, 1 more grenade. That's 1 more slot for a potentially game-changing piece of loot. A lot of pro players will also carry a 30-30 so they have extra heavy ammo for their SMG-wielding fraggers, or extra heavy ammo for themselves. Now, this has been especially prevalent in the current Legend meta, where every team seems to be running an Assault Legend, opening up even more space in the backpack since they can carry more ammo. At the end of the day, there's only so much ammo a good player needs. Guns like SMGs will eat through that ammo quickly, but once you win a fight, you can restock. Guns like the 30-30 don't win fights per se, they start them strong from a distance, so that you can close in and finish the squad later. This makes the 30-30 perfect for pro play and high-level ranked play, where often we have to slow the game down. With that being said, generally after ALGS lands, Respawn will nerf some of the most popular weapons, so we'll probably see the 30-30 change in some way soon. Now, they have several options for doing this. They could put the 30-30 in the care package, they could put it in the crafter, they could nerf it outright, or they could buff some of its counterparts. Now, I doubt they'll buff any of its counterparts since the G7 and Triple Take have a history of being nerfed, and it's not overpowered, so I doubt they're going to nerf it either, which leads me to believe it's either going in the crafter or going in the care package soon. So what can you do to get ahead of the meta once this gun is off the ground? Well, the only gun that shares all the same characteristics as the 30-30 is the Triple Take. Since its rework a while back, it's become a much more ammo-efficient marksman rifle that only needs 2 stacks of energy ammo to go nuts. It's also got great hipfire, it's basically a shotgun, and since it's an energy weapon, it's actually a bit easier to aim at long range than the 30-30. Now it won't fry like the G7, but you'll find this to be a reliable alternative to the dirty 30 when it eventually falls out of the meta. Alternatively, you could always use sniper rifles and just slap a 3x on them, but these are far less versatile, especially at close range, so I wouldn't recommend them for this role. Alright, well that's all for today's video. Hope that helps you get a jump start on the meta. Thanks for watching, and if you like this kind of content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your own thoughts down in the comments. I'll see y'all later.